The prison was a stark, cold place, surrounded by high walls topped with coils of razor wire. Inside, life followed a rigid routine dictated by the head of the institution, Warden Samuel Williams. He was a man of authority and discipline, known for his strict adherence to the rules and his no-nonsense approach to running the facility. But beneath his stern exterior lurked a darker side, a side that few knew about and even fewer dared to confront. One night, as the prison settled into its usual quiet rhythm, something unusual happened. Warden Williams had a personal vendetta against one of the inmates, a woman named Sophia. She had crossed him in the past, and he had been waiting for an opportunity to exact his revenge. That night, he saw his chance. Under the cover of darkness, Warden Williams ordered the guards to unlock Sophia's cell and bring her to his office. The guards, loyal to the warden and unaware of his ulterior motives, complied without question. They escorted Sophia to the warden's office, where he greeted her with a sinister smile. "Ah, Sophia," he said, his voice dripping with malice. "I hope you're comfortable, because you won't be leaving here anytime soon." Sophia's eyes widened in fear and confusion. She had no idea what the warden had in store for her, but she knew it couldn't be good. The guards stood by, oblivious to the true nature of their warden's intentions. Warden Williams proceeded to lock Sophia in a small room adjacent to his office, far away from the other inmates. The room had only a cot and a small window high up on the wall, offering a sliver of moonlight to illuminate the darkness. Sophia was left alone, trapped in a prison within a prison. As the night wore on, the other inmates noticed Sophia's absence. Whispers spread like wildfire throughout the facility, speculation and fear mingling in the air. They wondered what fate had befallen Sophia and why the warden had singled her out. Meanwhile, Warden Williams reveled in his twisted victory. He relished the thought of Sophia's suffering, convinced that he had finally put her in her place. But his triumph would be short-lived. The next morning, as the guards made their rounds, they noticed something amiss. Sophia's cell was empty, her belongings untouched. They reported the situation to Warden Williams, expecting him to be furious at the breach in security. Instead, they were met with a chilling calmness. "Keep searching," the warden ordered, his voice betraying no hint of concern. She couldn't have gone far. The guards obeyed, scouring every inch of the prison for any sign of Sophia. But their search turned up empty. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. Hours passed, tensions rising as the mystery deepened. The other inmates grew restless, their whispers growing louder with each passing minute. Rumors swirled, fueled by fear and uncertainty. Then, just as all hope seemed lost, a guard made a shocking discovery. In a forgotten corner of the prison, hidden from view, they found Sophia. But she was not alone. To their horror, Sophia was cradling a newborn baby in her arms. The guards rushed to inform Warden Williams, who was taken aback by the news. He had not anticipated this turn of events, and he knew that it spelled trouble for him. 1,000 thoughts raced through his mind as he tried to come up with a plausible explanation for what had happened. When questioned about the baby, Sophia revealed the truth. She had been pregnant, a fact she had kept hidden from everyone, including the warden. In her desperation to protect her child, she had devised a plan to escape the warden's wrath. With the help of a sympathetic guard, she had managed to give birth in secret and hide the baby until the coast was clear. Warden Williams was furious, his carefully constructed facade of authority crumbling before his eyes. He realized that he had underestimated Sophia and her resilience. But more than that, he knew that his actions had consequences. The news spread like wildfire through the prison, sparking outrage among the inmates and sympathy for Sophia and her newborn child. Warden Williams found himself facing not only a scandal, but also a potential revolt from the inmates who had once feared and obeyed him. In the days that followed, Sophia and her baby were relocated to a safer location far away from the warden's reach. The incident served as a wake-up call for the prison staff, highlighting the flaws and corruption that had long festered within the institution. As for Warden Williams, his reign of terror came to an abrupt end. The scandal tarnished his reputation beyond repair, leading to his dismissal and eventual arrest for his crimes. The story of Sophia and her baby became legend within the prison walls, a symbol of resilience in the face of oppression. And though the prison remained a harsh and unforgiving place, it was a little brighter knowing that justice had prevailed, if only for a fleeting moment. The scandal that unfolded within the prison sent shockwaves throughout the entire justice system. News outlets caught wind of the story, and soon it was making headlines across the city. People were appalled by the warden's actions and demanded accountability. Calls for reform echoed in the halls of government, and investigations were launched to uncover the extent of the corruption within the prison. Sophia's story became a rallying cry for advocates of prison reform. Her bravery in the face of adversity inspired countless others to speak out against injustice and to fight for a fairer, more humane criminal justice system. Meanwhile, inside the prison, changes were being implemented. New leadership took over, promising transparency and accountability. The guards underwent extensive training on proper procedures and ethical conduct. The conditions within the prison improved, albeit slowly, as efforts were made to rehabilitate inmates rather than simply punish them. As for Sophia, she found solace in the support she received from fellow inmates and from advocacy groups outside the prison walls. She was determined to give her baby a better life, free from the confines of the prison and the shadows of her past. Years passed, and the prison underwent a transformation. It was no longer the place of fear and despair it once was. Programs were introduced to help inmates acquire skills and education, preparing them for life outside of prison. Rehabilitation became the focus rather than punishment alone. Sophia, now a free woman, dedicated her life to helping others who had experienced similar injustices. She became an advocate for prison reform, using her own story as a powerful tool for change. Her courage and resilience inspired many, and her efforts were instrumental in shaping a more compassionate approach to criminal justice. As for Warden Williams, he faced the consequences of his actions. He was tried and convicted of multiple charges, including abuse of power and negligence. His downfall served as a cautionary tale, a reminder that no one is above the law. In the end, the story of Sophia, the warden, and the prison served as a powerful lesson. It showed that even in the darkest of places, there is hope for redemption and change. It proved that the power of the human spirit can overcome even the most oppressive circumstances. The prison that once harbored secrets and horrors had transformed into a symbol of resilience and hope. And though challenges remained, the journey toward a more just and compassionate society had begun. The reforms sparked by Sophia's ordeal extended beyond the prison walls. The public outcry and media attention forced policymakers to reevaluate the entire criminal justice system. New legislation was proposed and implemented, focusing on rehabilitation, mental health support, and alternatives to incarceration. The prison itself underwent significant changes under the new leadership. Programs aimed at addressing underlying issues such as addiction, trauma, and lack of education were introduced. Inmates were given opportunities to learn new skills, earn degrees, and participate in vocational training, preparing them for successful re-entry into society upon release. Sophia's advocacy work gained momentum as she collaborated with organizations dedicated to prison reform. She shared her story at conferences, lobbied for policy changes, and mentored other formerly incarcerated individuals. Her impact reached far beyond the confines of the prison, inspiring a movement toward a more compassionate and effective criminal justice system. Years went by, and the changes initiated by Sophia's courage continued to bear fruit. recidivism rates decreased as more inmates successfully reintegrated into society. The stigma surrounding formerly incarcerated individuals diminished as people recognized the importance of second chances and support systems. As for Warden Williams, his downfall served as a cautionary tale for those in positions of power. His conviction sent a strong message that abuse of authority and disregard for human rights would not be tolerated. Sophia's journey was not without its challenges. She faced obstacles and setbacks along the way, but her determination and resilience never wavered. With each hurdle she overcame, her voice grew stronger and her impact expanded. In time, Sophia's efforts contributed to a shift in societal attitudes toward the criminal justice system. People began to recognize the humanity of those behind bars and the need for a more compassionate approach to rehabilitation and reintegration. The story of Sophia, the warden, and the prison became a symbol of transformation and hope. It reminded society that change is possible, even in the face of entrenched systems and injustices. It inspired individuals to speak up, take action, and work toward a more equitable and just world for all. As the years passed, Sophia's legacy endured. Her advocacy work continued to influence policy decisions and shape public discourse. Her courage and determination served as a beacon of hope for countless others, proving that one person's actions can spark a movement and create lasting change. And so, the story of Sophia, the warden, and the prison came full circle, leaving a lasting impact on the lives of many and paving the way for a brighter, more compassionate future.